At Brown's, we recognise that many students, when they come to study at Brown's, they also want to work in Australia. So what we do is we have a weekly jobs club, so we can give them support to find a job and to get ready for a job. So the first thing we look at is getting a tax file number for students. So if you want to work in Australia, you have to pay tax, and we go onto the website and we apply for a tax file number. And this is very simple, all you need is your passport. The second thing we do is we show you examples of resumes. So many students have already written a resume, but we show them an example of a resume that we think is very clear and very simple.
Okay.
And so what I do is I give a resume to a student, and that student will go away and do their own version of resume in English, and the following week they come back and I check it and I make sure they've included everything, and I make sure they're selling themselves well, and then I give it back to them, and then they're ready to go. We also talk a little bit about preparing for interviews, so what sort of things you might be asked by potential managers and bosses, what sort of things they might ask you at interview. We also talk about maybe writing a covering letter. Some adverts like you to accompany your resume with a letter.
Okay.
And finally, we talk about how to find a job on the Gold Coast. So we do this in a number of ways. Firstly, Brown's has a fortnightly notice, which we put up on the wall. And this is a selection of jobs that we think are suitable for students at Brown's. The sort of jobs we're talking about are things like waitering, barrister, working in a bar, cleaning, this sort of job. Working in restaurants is always very popular. We also get the Gold Coast Bulletin, so the local newspaper every day, and there is a job section in the newspaper on Wednesday and Saturday, so this is always a good place to start. There are also several websites which you can use to look for local jobs. And the final thing we recommend is actually taking your resume and going into places in Surfers Paradise or in Southport, walking into a restaurant and saying, I'm interested in working, this is the days I can work, do you have any jobs? And after that, we hope that students are able to find jobs in the Gold Coast and give them some extra income while they study at Brown's.
Hey, I'm Nash and I'm a Brown's student. I'm working as a waitress here in Max Brenner Chocolate Bar. I went to the Brown's Jobs Club and they helped me to create my resume, and they gave me a lot of tips about how to find a job here on the Gold Coast. First of all, I love chocolate, and you can find the best drinks and desserts here in Max Brenner. Second, because I'm working as a waitress, I have improved my English. All the time, every day, I have to talk with the customers and with my co-workers. So that's really good for me and my English. I work 20 hours per week. Around $60 per hour.
Hi, my name is Luis. I'm from Peru. I'm a Brown student and I work as photographer at Community Resort and Beach Club. I went to the Brown's Jobs Clubs. They helped me with my resume, give me some tips how to search for a job. After a month living homestay, I moved to Coolangatta, where I saw a job advertisement looking for a guy to take photos. I had an interview with the owner of Community Resort. He liked my resume, and immediately I started working for him. The best part of my job is I get to practice my English with Australian people, meet new people who arrive to the hotel every day, and I live in front of the beach. It's a dream. I work 15 hours per week, and also I have accommodation and breakfast. Coming resort pay me $30 per hour. It's great.
Hello, my name is Marcela. I work at Holiday Club. I am a Browns student from Brazil. Well, first I went to the Browns Jobs Club, and they teach me how to make my resume, and they give me some tips to speak with my boss, to try to be nice with them, and these kind of things. And then I start to look in the newspapers, places to look for a job, and I left my resume in a lot of places. And then the Holiday Club calls me, and I went there, I did an interview with the manager, and now I got the job. I think the thing that I most like in my job is because I have to speak a lot with the families, I have to stop them, and so I learn how to be more friendly, don't be shy at all, and I don't know, I have to speak, I have to convince them, and the Australian people are very nice with me, because even if they don't want to be a member of my club, the place that I work, they stop, they talk with me, and they said no, very polite, very cool. They are very cool, and I am enjoying a lot my job. They paid me per hour $15, and I work 5 hours per day. So it's 20 hours per week because I just work 5 days in the week.